Hello, hello, everybody. Let me know if you can hear me okay. Let me pull up the chat. Okay, I'm getting ads. Hey, hey, hey. Push one in the chat if you can hear me. Press one in the chat if my audio is good. Am I too low? Is the mic too low? Press one in the chat. Okay, it sounds good on my end. Okay, perfect. Hey, hey, everybody. Thank you for joining me this Saturday night. I know it's a holiday weekend, so I didn't expect a lot of people to be here, but I just wanted to go live and chit chat with y'all, talk about whatever you want to talk about. I haven't been live in a minute. And I just want to talk about how everybody is like mad at me right now. It's actually hilarious. But before we get into it, okay, let me get my slides together. Well, I only have one slide, but I can't find it. Okay, there it is. So, for those of you who don't know, I just moved the content from my second channel to my website. That will be my secondary content space for good. I tried to, for some reason, my femininity content is like the most stolen content on this platform, the most controversial, the content that people like to steal the most. It's just so weird. Um, and I don't know why. It just, well, I do know why, but it's like, it's not even popular content like that anymore. So I don't know, but people like to steal it. I had to get a channel removed for literally reposting the content just with no commentary, just uploading the videos. I'm like, what are y'all doing? It's just, it was getting weird. So I did put the content on my website, and thank you for everybody who's been supporting thus far. And I plan on putting some other content over there too on the website outside of just videos, so stay tuned for that. And if you're interested in any of this exclusive content, I'm going to put some, well, I'm not going to say what I'm going to put up there yet because the girls like to steal. So you'll see what it is soon. And if you're interested in any of it, it'll be non-race related, none of this political stuff. Well, political a little bit, but not like, race politics. Um, so if you're interested in any of that, it is on my website. New content will be over there soon. And if you want to be notified of the new content before everybody else, uh, join the mailing list. All of the links are in the description box. And also, I do share like my music favorites on my community tab. And some of you were saying, oh, well, Chrissy, you need to start or you need to create an Apple Music profile and a Spotify music profile. So I'm going to do that. That is on my list to do. So be on the lookout for my community tab post about that when I create it. I'm still listening to you guys' music suggestions. So, but yeah, I do want to create that. For some reason, I just never really thought to do that. But y'all, every time I share my music, y'all are like, "Oh, well, just share the link to your playlist." And I'm like, "Okay, well, I'll just create a profile on both Spotify and Apple Music." So, stay tuned for that. And if y'all have not been listening, y'all need to go listen to Coco Jones' new album. It is so good. I don't hear enough people talking about it, but she got some bangers on there. So y'all need to go listen to her album, Coco Jones. That's a good ass album. Yeah, I like me some Kenny G too. I like Kenny G. Y'all put me on to Duran Bernard. I already knew he was dropping an album. I don't know why I didn't download it, but that's a good album too. I really like the Completed song. That's my favorite song on there, Completed. So his album is pretty good too. But yeah, some good music out there. Good music out there. And y'all continue to send me your suggestions. That's why I ask y'all what are you listening to? Music in all genres, because I like pretty much everything. Um, so y'all can put me on. We can put each other on. Yeah, Coco Jones' album is the shit. More people need to be talking about it. But yeah, back to what this whole live stream, well, not the whole live stream. I want y'all to give me your topics as well. But first, I just want to talk about how, the girls are mad, the boys are mad. Everybody's mad at me. And it's the usual. I'm pretty used to it, but everybody's mad. All sectors are mad. Black women are mad. They're mad at the commentary I did on the Times Square statue, the movie Sinners. Black men, they always mad. I'm always talking shit about them. I get it. They're always mad at me about everything. And then most recently, the black fatiguers have showed up under my last video. And so they're mad too. And I just want to say, I've said this before, I am going to criticize everybody on this channel. Nobody is exempt. Now, of course, I'm a black woman, so I'm going to be a little biased towards black women, obviously. But even black women are going to get critiqued over here. Black women, certainly black men. Y'all know how I feel about them. And white people too. So, like, nobody's off limits. The LGBT, everybody's going to get criticized over here because nobody's perfect. Okay? So, under that video, y'all had the racist, I had the racist upset under that video, which I knew they would be, but they really did kind of prove my point under the video because a lot of them were like bringing up stuff that even I don't experience. They were like, oh, well, you guys are, one of them brought up how black people are robbing the liquor stores and robbing the drugstores. And I'm like, sir, I'm sorry. I'm not around the pores. That doesn't happen around me. Okay, no, let me stop. I'm laughing, but I'm serious. Like, I'm not around that. So, and it's like, are you around that? And if you are, okay, then that proves my point that you're one of these poor whites that are upset, that you have to be around hood ghetto black people. You know what I'm saying? And then some of them I feel like we're just looking like, I feel like, the conversation, the black fatigue conversation is really popular right now. People are talking about it all over TikTok, all over YouTube. It's everywhere. And so they're looking for a video. So they're looking for black people to be mad at. Girl, yes, they were under that video mad. And a few of y'all were like, Chrissie, the racist are under your. I'm like, I see them. I'm deleting them. And I like to screenshot before I delete stuff just so I can have it for my own records. But yeah, I saw them under there. And they're like, oh, it's not that we're mad that we're losing privilege. We're just mad at your ghetto behavior. It's the ghetto, you ghetto black people. I'm like, look, if you're not around them, look, because here's the thing. Here's how I see it, right? I'm not around ghetto black people. I don't just go around looking for ghetto ratchet shit to talk about. Do you get what I'm saying? I don't understand the fascination. And I'm a black person. I'm a black person and I don't get the fascination of talking about ratchet black people all day that rob liquor stores and rob gas stations and I don't that's not appealing to me. I don't want to talk about that. That's weird. That's weird to me. I don't talk about what happens in the hood because I'm not there. You know what I'm saying? I may talk about some of the ghetto ratchet shit we see in the media, the shit that is pushed in our faces. You know what I mean? The shit that goes viral. That's the shit I talk about. But the shit that just happens in the hood somewhere, it's like, I don't know, maybe because some of them aren't from the hood, they're obsessed, with what goes on there. Nigga, I've been out the hood for decades now, couple decades. I don't want to talk about what happens there because I'm not there anymore, and I don't want to be reminded of being there. I don't want to talk about it. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. It's odd to me. It's odd. And then one of them, they brought up Jasmine Crockett, and I don't know if this was a white person. I'll say that this could have been a black person, but they were like, "Oh well, it's Jasmine Crockett and the black boule making professional black women look bad." And okay, that we can talk about that because Jasmine Crockett is everywhere, right? And when I called out the left and Black Lives Matter and all of the the leftist black people, the liberal black people in the media, those are some of the people I was referring to. People like Jasmine Crockett. I didn't call her out by name, but I called out the black people in the media who support a lot of this social justice warrior, ratchet black woman imagery that we see being pushed. And Jasmine herself is not even, she's not even ghetto. It's like she tries to be that ghetto caricature of a black woman type of thing. It just looks ridiculous. But on the other hand, the right and Donald Trump himself is ghetto. It's ghetto whites up there too. JD Vance is ghetto. So that's why you really haven't heard me talk about Jasmine Crockett like that. Now, I will say that, you know, black women especially can't afford to do what Jasmine is doing. You get what I'm saying? White people can afford to do that type of shit and get away with it. Women like Jasmine can't. You know what I mean? And so I get what they're saying about women like her kind of putting a target on the backs of professional black women. We can agree with that. We can agree on that. We can agree on that. But am I just going to keep, harping on her and pretending like white people can do no wrong? No. Because the whole administration is ghetto, if you ask me. It's like ghetto whites, ghetto whites against the left, who's just like, a lot of them are want to be ghetto blacks. It's just really a mess. Chanel says that bleach blonde, bad built, butch body is ghetto. Yeah. And she came at her first. She was talking about her eyelashes and shit. So you know what I'm saying? Like, to me, I don't think either side, as far as the political parties are concerned, are conducting themselves in a professional manner. That's why I say both of them are ghetto to me. They just look ghetto to me. Now, a separate conversation can be had about how specifically black women will be targeted because of Jasmine Crockett's behavior. That's a separate conversation. But for me to make her an example of why there's black fatigue, come on now. That's ridiculous. Come on. You're just racist. That's just what it is. And then another guy, I think it was a white man. It could have been a white woman. I don't know. It was a white person, okay? But they brought up Karmelo Anthony and Shiloh Hendrix, right? And Karmelo Anthony is that young black guy who unalived the little white boy at school. I don't remember everything that happened, but he unalived him. How do I say this without that aligns with in a way that aligns with YouTube guidelines? But he took a sharp object, okay, and put it in his heart, and he unalived him, okay? The high school boy, the black boy. And so I guess black people, I don't really know everything that happened, but black people rallied together to donate money to him. And I think they raised enough money to get him bailed out or something like that. And it was a black female judge who lowered his bail and all that stuff. And then Shiloh Hendrix was the white woman who called the little black boy in the park the N-word. And so she put up a GoFundMe talking about how black people were harassing her, and she got a bunch of money from the white people. So they're saying now, I guess, that because, all these black people donated to Carmelo Anthony and got him out of jail and rallied around him and helped him out of jail, they're saying the response to that was a bunch of white people donating to Shiloh Hendrix, right? The white woman who called the little black boy the N-word. Yeah, so but in my opinion, right, this is just two examples of racial groups being tribal like they always have been. There's nothing shocking about that to me. White people support other white people who unalive black people or who are racist against black people. They have done this a million times. And black people support other black people who unalive white people and are prejudiced against white people. I'm not outraged by either of those stories because we've seen it before on both sides. This is not new behavior. So what I'm not going to do is let these black fatiguers come under my comment section with fake outrage about that. Oh, you guys, black people raised all this money for a unaliver. Oh my God, please. This is America. White people do that all the time. Who gives a fuck? I don't give a fuck about that shit. Now, I don't give a fuck. I'm sorry. I don't give a fuck about Karmelo either. I don't care who cancels me, who gets mad at me saying that. I don't give a fuck about him either. And that black female judge, I think she was stupid to subject herself to all of that hatred when it came to her lowering his bail. I don't know. Those of you in the legal system or in the legal profession, is there a way she could have given that case to somebody else and assigned him a different judge? I don't know, because I don't think as a black woman I would have subjected myself to that. I would have tried to give the case to somebody else. I don't know if there's a way they can do that and assign a different judge to it or something. That's the part I don't agree with black women doing. Putting themselves on the line like that over some racial shit and subjecting yourself to all the hatred and harm. Because at the end of the day, like it or not, ladies, I don't care what side you're on. You still have to depend on this system, this white supremacist system. You still have to depend on it. Your men have not created a system for you to depend on and for you to rely on if you need something. You're still going to be calling on those white people that you hate. Racist or not, you still have to depend on the system. So, yeah, she was receiving death threats. I read that too. So that's the part I don't like. But as far as being outraged by, the way black people like supported Karmelo, like I expected that. Especially a little black boy, a black male. That's what the community does. It don't matter what they do. I mean, they can unalive a black woman and still get support. They can, abuse black women and still get support. So I'm not surprised by them doing that. But for me to try to use that example, oh, this is why white people have black fatigue. Fuck out of here. Y'all do the same thing. Y'all do the same exact thing. You support white people who do bad things because they're white. So I'm not about to, make that the example of black fatigue. That's ridiculous to me. And so, no, I just because I agree with some of the right does not mean I'm going to give you space on my platform to be racist, white people. Like, I don't know what you thought this was, but this is not a space for that. So you're going to have to take your white tears to one of those other spaces who cries about white people and makes them the biggest victims in the world. I will never victimize y'all. Sorry. I'm not victimizing any of y'all. White people, black people, none of y'all. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what. And the thing is, like, I don't even think they were comfortable under that video. I don't think they were comfortable. They were, because some of them were mad. They were like, oh, this is not what it's not, because they were really mad at my commentary about white privilege. I don't, it's something about privileged people. They don't want to admit that they have privilege. And it's not, one guy even said, white males have no privilege. We're not, I'm like, God, I can't, this is what I'm saying. Like, a lot of the poor whites are also stupid. And so I can't give you space on my channel because you're just stupid. I can't deal with that. The white men I'm around aren't stupid. They realize they have privilege and they use that privilege. They're not stupid. I don't have time for that. And so like you're not going to be under my video talking stupid. Yeah, he was like, we don't have the average white male does not have privilege. Yes, you do. You may have less power than the elite black or the elite white males, you know, in the 1%, the ones who are pulling all the strings, but you do have privilege. You just have less power. And see, that's part of why you're mad. But that's not my problem. That's not my problem that you couldn't use your white privilege good enough to social climb and get into the 1%. That's not my problem as a black person. It's not my problem as a black woman. You're going to have to take that up with somebody else. And the thing is, I already have a very low tolerance for ratchetry. It doesn't matter what race it's in. I have a low tolerance for a lot of ratchet poor black people. So I don't know why you thought that I would have tolerance for you as a poor white. I don't know why you would think that. I have low tolerance for you too. I don't like you either. And I know I sound so classist and so elitist right now, but I don't care. Like, it's a correlation between poor people and stupidity. It is. And I just don't have time for it. I don't have time for it. I don't like ghetto people no matter the race. I don't. I don't like y'all. Y'all are stupid and y'all don't have the range for these conversations. And, you know, you can look for black people to be mad at, but you're not going to find that over here. And even one of the comments I saw, and black women, that's another thing. If you're going to rest, don't argue with any of these people. I don't care about, you know, what color they are. Don't argue with them. Because there was one guy who came under the video and he was like, basically, I mean, he brought up all the black stereotypes, the welfare queen, all this stuff. And there was a black woman arguing with him and she was like, oh, well, this is not, you know, these are not the black women that are on welfare. Like, you're talking to the wrong group of black women. Like she said in the video, you know, she condemned the ratchet black people and she talked about respectability politics. And here you are still bringing up that bullshit. And that's what I'm saying, black women. Some people are just going to be racist just because they don't like black people. That's fine. Ignore them. And he got blocked. See, he knows. He heard what I said in my video. He knows that we aren't the ratchet black women on welfare. He knows that already. He just wants to be racist. He or she. I don't know if it was a man or a woman. And so you trying to go back and forth with them. And see, that's another thing. I think people confuse that, you know, just because I date white people and I date individual non-black people doesn't mean I'm confused about who they are as a collective. Okay? I know who they are as a collective. And I don't kiss white ass. I don't kiss non-black ass. Especially if you have no money. Like, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Like, I can't do the pores. I can't. I just can't can't do it. And so it's like, don't be arguing with them ladies. If you wouldn't argue with a broke, dusty black man, please don't argue with a broke, dusty white man or a white person. Ignore these people because that's crazy. Skittle says they're frustrated with their low rank socioeconomically and take it out on the ghetto blacks they are in proximity to. Exactly. And that's not my problem because I'm not in proximity to none of y'all. I'm not in proximity to none of y'all. And I'm not trying to be arrogant. I know people always say, "Oh, well, everybody's the average person is one paycheck away from being poor." Okay, well, I'm not poor yet. So I'm gonna talk shit until I'm poor again. Okay, y'all, let me stop. I mean, I'm laughing, but I'm halfway serious, but I'm also being funny. Okay, I'm not trying to be funny. I know, some of my family is still in that situation. Okay, but most of us, we are not around. I mean, my mama, none of us, we're not around the poor people that y'all are talking about that do all these things. And if you're not around that, then don't, if I'm not around that, if I'm telling you I'm not around that, don't come to me with that bullshit because I don't have nothing to do with it. And it's not my fault that you're there and I'm not. Don't bring that to my doorstep. I'm not there. I don't have to worry about that. Now, I live downtown in my city, so there are some things that pop off every now and then, but I'm just not used to the type of stuff that that they were talking about in the comment section. People robbing liquor stores, robbing drugstores, being around all these ghetto hood black people that are super loud in the store, that got their kids running around. I don't see that often where I'm at. So, if you're around that and you don't like to be around that, you need to, what do y'all tell black people? Pull yourself up by the bootstraps and work yourself up to get out of there. Use your privilege to get away from those black people. If you tell black people that we should be able to do it, then you should be able to do it. Level up, get your money up so you don't have to be around ghetto blacks and then you don't have to complain about them. Not my problem, white people. I don't have anything to do with that. Okay? I don't have anything to do with it. Level up, tell your fellow white people to get you a good job so you can get some money and you can get out the hood. If I can do it, I know you can. So don't come into my comment section with that bullshit. And as far as the black women, because there were black women who were mad at me too. Because one of them, she was under there and she was like, I was with you until you started criticizing liberal black women. But look, y'all, we have to be honest, okay? This is an honest channel. They do contribute to the harmful imagery of black women that's constantly being pushed in the media. They do encourage black women to have low standards more than anyone. Low standards in dating, low standards for ourselves in general. And I'm not going to lie about that just because they're black women. And I'm not going to agree with everything they say just because they're black women. Okay? Wanting to stay fit or at an average weight as a black woman, that's not white supremacy. It's not. It's not fat phobia. Now, look, I don't agree with the name calling and the harassing of fat people because, after my videos on the statue in Times Square, I did see that video of that black lady where she was like, fat, black, and ugly, that's too much. That's too much. Okay? So I don't agree with that. I don't agree with, people picking on fat people for no reason, no matter what race they are. But, when a black woman says they don't want to be fat and they want to be at a healthy weight, that's not self-hating. It's not. And neither is wanting flattering promotion as a black woman. So, you cannot be mad about that. I don't know what to tell you. But no, I lost weight because I don't like being fat. I'm not going to lie about that to make fat people feel good. You know, I'm just not going to do that. And yes, I'm going to practice respectability politics. Yes, I am, because they work. Now, like I said, with the racist white people I just addressed, respectability politics doesn't work with people like them. So we acknowledge that, but that doesn't mean they never work. So, you know, I feel like the problem is for a lot of y'all, whether you be black, white, or other, you think in binary terms. You think black and white. We don't think in black and white over here. We have nuance on this channel. We are very nuanced thinkers. So if you can't handle that level of thought, that level of intelligence, then this is just not the space for you. And to be honest with you, I find that the most intelligent people, regardless of race, and you know, when we tie it into politics, they're not usually on either side. They're right in the middle. You know, they might lean toward a certain side, but they're pretty neutral and they can see both sides. Those are the kind of people I like to be on my channel. People who understand nuance, they don't go to any extreme. They're not extreme on one side or the other. They understand both sides. And there was another guy under there, and I'm pretty sure this was a white man. And he again, I feel like he was a poor white and he was mad at his situation. And you know, he was mad at me saying, because in the video I said, I told black women, I encourage black women not to engage in the spaces that have people who bash black women or bash black people. And I encourage black women to also let them exist, though. Just, you know, if you want to observe sometimes, I think that's okay. But don't regularly engage with them and go back and forth with them. And he was actually mad about that. He was like, well, how do you know, we should be able to have discourse with each other. That's how we learn. And I'm like, well, what more do we need to hear? What more do we need to hear if it's a space, you know, where, you know, there's really not a lot of logic when it comes to black women. There's not a lot of nuance. It's just these blanket generalized statements about black women and black people. There's nothing to discuss. There's nothing to go back and forth about. So this goes back to what I keep saying. Black women, they're mad at you for resting. They want to find something to complain about. They want to find black people, find black women to argue with, to let off some steam. You get what I'm saying? That's what they want. So us resting is triggering them. Just us resting, just us saying, hey, black women, pull back, fall back, rest, let these motherfuckers talk, let them look like the bullies. That one part that I said, that's what set that man off. And he got mad. Basically, what he was saying was, why are you telling black women to step back and not argue? We need you here to argue so we can have something to complain about. That's what he was saying, basically. And so when I tell you that it really triggers and bothers these people when you sit the fuck down, that's what I mean. Jewel says, please, Chrissie, adopt me as your daughter. I'm a 30-year-old woman. LOL. Love you so much. Learn so much from you that I wish I learned a long time ago. Thank you for all of your platforms. Keep thriving. Oh, thank you, Jewel. Thank you. That's cute. Yeah, energy vampires, for sure. And yeah, a lot of them are very, very triggered. And so when they come to spaces like mine, and I'm telling you to stop fighting with them, oh, they're mad about that because they want to fight. They want to fight. And then he was also mad that I said, where I said that my opinions on race haven't affected my standing in the real world. And then he was mad about me being anonymous. He was like, you don't show your face and identity. And, he was like, it's cult-like behavior to tell your followers to hide their opinion from the real world. Oh, you mean like the white people on the dark web? Oh, you mean like the white people in their private spaces, the kind of white people who wrote Project 2025 that have their own little private little hideaways where they strategize against black people? Sir, who do you think you're talking to? See, when you start playing the game like everybody else, people get scared. People get scared. They want to see your identity. They want to know who you are so they can harass you. So they can fucking try to hunt you down and stalk you. So when I tell y'all these strategies, you need to take heed and you need to listen to what I'm saying. There's a reason I'm saying this. Um, Ozzel says you literally parroted the whites on the statue topic. Stop it, Chrissy. I did not parrot the whites. And if what I said overlapped with them, oh well. And if you, again, this goes back to the nuance thinking. If you can't differentiate the intention behind what I said and behind what a white person said about the statue because of their racism, if you can't differentiate the intention behind the two and you think it's all the same, then you don't have the range for these conversations. You don't have the range. And this is what I'm talking about. This is why y'all are mad, because you just don't get it. And I don't have time for that. I don't have time for that. Like, if you can't see that, a white person say, oh, this fat, ugly statue is here in the middle of Times Square, and, these ugly black people, and then me saying, hey, ladies, this is not good for our image. They're putting this up to protest against grown-ass white men and uh y'all are silly, and racist white people. Like, if you think that's the same as what the white people are saying, again, you don't have the range for the type of discussions on this channel, and you probably need to unsubscribe because you're never going to get it. So, that's not my problem. Your inability to comprehend things is not my problem. And so I'm gonna tell you, like those white people, you're just not smart enough. You're not smart enough for this conversation, and you just probably don't need to be here. But yeah, back to that white guy, when he was saying, basically mad that I was telling my subscribers to move strategically when they're discussing these topics. He was also saying that what else was he saying? No, I don't forgot what I was gonna say. Oh, he was saying that tribalism doesn't work anymore, or tribalism. How did he put it? Let me see if I can find the comment, because I did screenshot it. Let's see here. Yeah, he says tribalism historically has failed in every society. Now, do you think he's going around platforms that white people run and complaining about tribalism? Everybody's tribal still. That has never gone away. So it's like, what are you saying here? And it's like it made me feel like he wants the voices of the black fatiguers to be heard, and he wants us to be angry about that and fight about that. And he doesn't want us to be tribal on this side, but he's okay with them being tribal on the other side. And that's not how it works. That's not how it works. I am going to play the game how everybody else plays the game until they're not playing it anymore. So you damn right, I'm going to be tribal with black women. Hell yeah, on this channel, we're going to be tribal over here. Now, it'd have been different if he came over here and was like, yeah, well, and I say this to the other side as well. No, he didn't do that. He didn't hold the other side accountable for being tribal. You just want to say that over here. And it goes back to what I keep saying. When we start playing the game like everybody else, people get scared. And they try to use that shaming language, right? And they try to use that moral argument, right? They hit you with the moral stick and they're like, "Oh, this is just so bad for society. This is just so immoral and it's wrong." But you support the other spaces that are immoral. No. We're not going to follow rules that you don't follow. Sorry. Chanel says Chrissie is giving Regina George, child. On Wednesdays we wear pink. Yeah. You know what? I have been told a lot of times over the years that I'm like the black Regina George. I don't know. Sometimes I take it as a compliment. Sometimes I'm like, I don't know if I'm that bad. But whatever, I'll take it. Maybe, yeah, it is what it is. And so I just wanted to address that. And just everybody who's, mad at me, I can't, I don't know what you want me to do. I'm always going to hold everybody accountable. I'm always going to address everybody's flaws, and you can be mad until you're blue in the face, but you keep subjecting yourself to my opinion. That's another thing I've noticed. Like, people get so angry, but they watch my videos. It's just, I'm not talking about the people who just got here, but the people who complain over and over again. I see you because I can see your comment history. And so you come over here, you listen, and you listen just to get angry. And that's wild to me. Especially when it comes to the other content creators. I find that to be weird. I just got a recent comment and this lady was like, "Oh, the way I see so many content creators," and she was talking about BWE and feminist content creators and divestors. She was like, "The way I see them obsess over your content and attack everything that you say, like you can never do anything right, and they're always offended by what you say." And she was like, "I am convinced that they're low-key subscribed and inspired." And I'm like, yeah, that's what it has to be. You are a fan, you're a low-key fan, and you watch all of my content just to get angry. That's what you do. And your anger is not my problem. Not my problem. You don't have to listen. You don't have to watch. Yeah, Babezilla says some of them are mad they couldn't come up with what you said first. Yeah, and there's a battle on here. I don't know if you guys noticed, but there's a battle between content creators, and everybody wants to be the HBIC. Everybody wants to be the head bitch in charge. Everybody wants to be the first to cover a topic. If you cover the same topic, then you're accused of copying. And I always think it's super weird for people who literally copied their whole platforms off of other people and got 99% of their talking points from old BWE content creators are accusing people of stealing content. Like, I am convinced that it's a mental illness at this point. Because everybody here knows that you're not original. And if I'm lying, show the receipts where you were the first with all of these talking points. Nobody here now was the first, y'all. It's okay for multiple people to cover different talking point or the same talking points. It's okay for that. And I got all my receipts, so we can do this as far as, people talking about I'm copying. Bring the receipts. Let me see. But I don't know what's up with these other content creators thinking that they own a viral topic. Everybody's talking about black fatigue. You won't be the only one talking about it. I'm sorry. And you're going to be okay. You're not going to bully me into not talking about trending topics because you talked about them first. This is YouTube. Multiple people are going to cover the same topics. Do y'all see how many people are talking about Diddy right now? Because it's a popular topic. So many people are talking about black fatigue because it's a popular topic. Get over it. I don't throw tantrums when y'all discuss trending topics after I do. I don't throw tantrums when I hear y'all using some of my colorism talking points because you definitely have. Why don't I throw tantrums? Because I'm grown. That's why. So you will not be the only people. And I think another thing is with black women, especially, because we're already a minority and it's a very small sector on YouTube who are doing content like mine and giving strategic advice to black women, they want to be the only ones. It's like everybody's racing to the HBIC. I don't want that. I keep telling y'all, I don't want that title. I don't want the BWE queen title. I don't want that. And I noticed that it's always the same women in BWE and divestment sectors who get triggered when I do strategy videos specifically. It's like they get mad when they're not the only ones giving strategic advice to black women. But then they say they care about black women. That's crazy. But you'll never be the only people giving advice. Get over it. And again, I thought they didn't care about YouTube like that. Like, I couldn't imagine getting that upset about what other YouTubers are doing if I only did it for fun. And if you're the best at what you do, then why are you threatened and intimidated by other black women covering the same topics? My God, grow up already. Y'all are too damn old for this. You're too old to be fighting over viral topics. Like, I mean, and these women, 50 years old, grandma age, mad about people covering the same. That's weird. It's weird. It's weird. Think Noodle says, what were your thoughts on Marvel's Ironheart show with a black female lead and the racist, sexist attacks on it? And thoughts on black female heroes? Oh, I didn't see. Send me the information. I didn't see anything about that. Now, I did hear about Marvel's Ironheart. Is that the one that Ryan Coogler directed? I think that's the same one, right? But I didn't see any racist, sexist backlash about it. But I told y'all, Ryan Coogler, didn't I tell y'all he likes to see black women fighting and being warriors and on the front? Didn't I tell y'all that? And isn't the lead character, isn't she a dark-skinned woman? This is just what Ryan Coogler does. Like, he doesn't put women who look like his wife in roles like that. And y'all want to call me crazy. You see, he keeps doing it over and over again, and y'all just keep accepting it. It's crazy. Major Side-Eye says, nothing about you is BWE like at all. Statue video showed us all. Well, first of all, I've already separated myself from black women's empowerment, but I'm just automatically put in that category because I have already said, Major Side-Eye, that I'm not here for all black women. So if you find that if you feel like I'm not BWE, that's fine. Because I don't take anything I said about that statue back. I don't. Bad look for black women. And if you are okay with that biracial man using your image to protest against white men and white supremacy, if you're okay with him doing that, you're not BWE either. You're not that either, babe. You don't have the best interest for black women either. If you agree with that statue. And I don't know why you think, using that insult towards me is gonna upset me, because women like you are dangerous. If you are a black woman and you agree with that statue and you don't see the intention behind why that statue was put there, and you think that was actually good for black women, you ain't looking out for black women like that. You ain't BW either, babe. You're not. So a lot of y'all, you think you throwing shots and you think you dissing somebody when, girl, you about just as dangerous for to black women as these black men and these biracial men who use our image to do shit like that. You're just as bad and you're just as dangerous, and black women need to stay away from your ass too. And you got blocked major side eye. No point in keep commenting. See, that's why the comments ain't up on the screen anymore, because a lot of y'all be trying to do that to get screen time and get your little raggedy comments on the screen. Yeah, you won't have the space to do that on my channel either anymore. So yeah, you just got blocked. Now go ahead and create another account to troll me under and obsess with me under, because that's what y'all do. Fucking weirdos. But yeah, if we don't want to be mammies, we're allowed to not want to be that. You other black women, you're not any more moral or superior or for black women because you condone that social justice warrior bullshit. You are some of the most dangerous to black women. And that's the truth. That's the truth. But yeah, you can't force us to accept that mammy promotion that y'all are flocking on over and obsessed over. No, we not gonna accept that. Not over here. No, man. But yeah, I'm gonna I don't know if I'll do a video on Ironheart. I probably won't. It's not as viral as the movie Sinners. I usually focus on imagery that goes viral, but if something I see compels me want to do a video on it, I will. But yeah, I didn't see, what were the racist people saying about Ironheart? What were they saying? Because I'm curious to know. Chanel Miller says, my thing is, even if you like the statue, why is it a problem if other black women don't? It's like black women can't voice their opinion about our own image. Exactly. Exactly. It's like we're not allowed to say, that we want our image to be different, and it's our image. It's like, have y'all noticed that it's a lot of people, especially with dark skinned women, it's a lot of people, especially on this app, trying to tell us how we should feel about our promotion and our image being used for certain things. It's like the audacity, like that's why I said black women and dark skinned women especially, y'all have given these people too much validation. You've coddled these people too much. You have given them way too much support and leeway to just try to control you and control how you feel and try to boss you around and tell you what to accept and what not to accept. It's not up to you. It's up to us. It's our image. The fuck? Because it's a lot of people on this app who are not dark skinned women trying to control us. It's weird. And you even now have women. I'm not going to say no names, but I'm going to say this. It is some anonymous people on here who are pretending to be dark skinned women, trying to tell dark skinned women what to do. And I'm noticing it's mostly like brown skinned women. Have y'all noticed that? Like in the ambiguous woman space, it's mostly brown skinned women in that space complaining about dark skinned women and trying to tell us what to do. It's the weirdest shit ever. It's the weirdest shit I've ever seen. Miss Felis Caddis. I still haven't watched Forever. I'm gonna watch it, and if I feel compelled to do commentary, I will. The Sun says they're not even black. No, some of them are black. Some of them are brown skinned black women. I'm telling you what I know. I'm telling you what I know. Um, it's brown skinned women leading the anti unambiguous dark skinned woman conversation. They aren't dark or light skinned black women. There's a few light skinned black women and mixed race women who are light skinned who have channels and that are like, you know, talking about colorism from their perspective, and they're biased against light skin or biased towards um dark skinned women because they're light skinned and or biracial. But the biggest channels, they're not even mixed women. They're not light skinned mixed women. They're brown skinned women. Some of them are ambiguous brown skinned women, and some of them are unambiguous brown skinned women. So, you know, I'm not going to blame light skinned women or dark skinned women for their behavior. It's mostly brown skinned women. But I do see, again, light skinned women. I do see unambiguous dark skinned women and mixed light skinned women in their comments. I see them in their comment section. So they are there and they're participating in the bullshit, but they aren't leading the charge is what I'm saying. They aren't leading the charge. So yeah, that's something I've noticed. That's something I've noticed. Yeah, there's some women out there cosplaying as dark skinned women, and they'll make these videos. They'll be like, "Yeah, and I'm dark skinned," or they'll be like, "Yeah, and I'm dark skinned in the summertime, and I don't care about colorism because I'm dark skinned in the summertime." And it's like, mm, that's not how it works. Like, if you're dark skinned year round, okay? Because baby, I'm dark skinned in the winter, and I'm West African in the summertime. If you get what I'm saying. If you get what I'm saying, like, girl, it's like I'm more milky chocolate in the winter, and then I'm more like blackety black in the so that's dark skin, okay? That's dark. That's a dark skinned person. Like, you don't get to be dark skinned or, you know, light skinned or brown skinned in the winter time when you're dark skinned, okay? You're dark skinned all the time. Like, that's not how this works. Like, and you don't get to speak on, you know, the dark skin experience of what dark skinned women should be doing if you are part time dark skin. Like, if you're only dark skinned with a tan. Oh. Baffled, what's not true? I'm not saying that, you know, every dark skinned woman has my experience as far as skin tone, but what I'm saying is, like, if you're a dark skinned woman, you're never going to be confused as anything else. It doesn't matter what season it is. That's my point here. And I love getting really black in the summer, by the way, because my skin tone just, I don't know, it glistens different, if that makes sense. Yeah, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Even if your skin gets a little bit lighter, because I'm a little bit lighter in the winter too, but I'm still dark skinned. So yeah, I can't take y'all serious if y'all making these videos and you're like, yeah, and this is why dark skinned women shouldn't care about colorism because I'm dark skinned in the summer. What? No, you're not qualified. Sorry. I'm only going to listen to actual dark skinned women talk about colorism. Okay, that's the only people I take seriously on the topic. Okay. Girl, when I heard that, I was like, and I stopped listening to her channel ever since because she did a video about me and somebody sent it to me. And when I heard her say that, I was like, oh, girl. And I had to email the person back who sent it to me. I was like, well, you know, this person is not dark skinned, so don't take it to heart. I'm just saying. A mess, girl. So they out here cosplaying dark skin just to, like, you know, kind of. move the colorism conversation in a different direction or something. Like they're, or sabotage my channel or something. So they're pretending to be dark. It's so weird. And one in particular, she actually showed part of herself on her channel, and her subscriber, I don't know if it was on Patreon or members YouTube page or whatever, but she showed part of herself, and her subscriber, her member, sent it to me, and she was like, I thought she was dark skinned the whole time, and here she is brown skinned. I'm like, I told you these women are brown. And this girl, she was borderline, it was like a light brown. She wasn't even dark, but she's telling her subscribers that she's dark. A mess, girl. And look, I know that skin tone is subjective. We all know that, right? But I'm just saying, in the United States of America, we all know what dark skin is. I'm just saying. Fine Afro Women says, I thought it was a place for exotic women. It is, but I'm saying the women who run it are not exotic for the most part. Most of them are brown skinned women. Some of them are ambiguous brown skin, like, you know, who's an example? Chili from TLC. They're like, some of them are like that, but most of them aren't that I've seen. The Wordsmith says, would you consider the singer Brandy dark skinned? Yeah. Yeah, I think in America, Brandy's dark skinned. And that's another thing y'all have to understand. Like, when I talk, I'm talking from the Black American perspective. I'm talking about what is considered to be dark or light here, okay? In other countries where there are a lot of Black people, they don't allow Americans to come in and be like, oh, this is not dark, this is not light, or this is not this. You know what I'm saying? So that's another thing y'all got to be careful of, allowing people who are not from here to kind of determine what certain things are. Because I had that happen one time. Like, this West African lady was like, oh, well, Naomi Campbell's not dark, she's brown. And in my country, she would be brown. Okay, but this is America, though. In America, in the United States of America, Naomi Campbell's dark skin. So, yeah. And I don't believe in it going the other way around, too. Like, when people were trying to tell Tyla what she is, no. She's colored in her country, so she's colored. You know, you don't have the right to tell people what they are in their own, you know what I'm saying? Now, we could talk about her trying to, like, pander and appeal to the Black American market, you know, whatever. We can talk about that, but if the girl says she's colored, then she's colored, girl. You don't argue with that. Now, in America, I think she would be considered mixed race. But you know, whatever. I think in, where is she from? South Africa or something. Um, some of the coloreds there are mixed race and some are not, to my understanding. So it is what it is. Uh-huh. Princess says, thoughts on the reignited hate for Meg because of Tory stabbing. Meg's team provided even more proof, and the Black community still believes he didn't do it. Girl, the Black community is trash. And I wish that Megan would just divest and try to stop, like, appealing to the community. Like, this should really make her want to do that, because it's disgusting. It's this, because I saw where they released some sort of audio of the stab or the shooting. And if Black people still aren't believing it after that, then you know it's just a bias when it comes to the situation, and they just don't want that Black man to be guilty because he's a Black man. Like, that's just really what it is. Sydney says, hi, Chrissy and everybody in the chat. It's 12 a.m. in Boston, and today is my 31st birthday. Oh, happy birthday. She said, I love your work and your sense of humor. Thank you for showing me how to level up. Oh, no problem, Sydney, and happy birthday. Happy birthday. Yeah, everybody in the chat, tell Sydney happy birthday. So you are a what sign are we in? Are we in Taurus still, or are we in Gemini? Are you a Gemini? Shout out to the Geminis. Shout out to all the Geminis. I'm a Gemini rising. If y'all can't tell, that's why I'm sometimey as hell. Oh, and that's another thing I want to say too. Because somebody was like, "Oh, well, Chrissy, I thought you said you weren't talking about colorism anymore. Why are you talking about colorism?" And she was like trying to do it as like a gotcha moment. And I'm actually getting tired of talking about colorism again. I'll just be honest with you. I'm actually tired of it again. But I already told y'all that I'm sometimey and I change my mind a lot. Not only am I a Cancer sun and I'm moody as fuck all the time, I have a lot of Gemini placements. And so that makes me a very changeable, moody, sometimey ass bitch. I hate that about myself and I love that about myself, okay? And I told y'all that I might change my mind and decide to talk about colorism again when I said I didn't want to talk about it anymore. But I started talking about it again because I felt like talking about it again. Okay? And when I feel like not talking about it again, I will stop again. Because I'm changeable and sometimes like that. I don't know what you want me to do. Thank you, Tiffany. She says, we will go with your flow, Chrissy. Thank you. Thank you. Dominique says, Chrissy, is your moon in Gemini? No. My moon is in Aries and my Venus is in Gemini. So it's a lot of Gemini, it's a lot of sometiminess going on, okay? And I hold that. And I try to be less sometimey. I try to be less like that sometimes because that doesn't work in every situation. You know what I mean? And I'm the type of person that'll make plans and then not want to follow through with the plans, and that can be a bad thing. You know what I mean? So I try not to be that way with everything. But hell yeah, when it comes to this YouTube shit, I can be as sometimey as I want to be, and sometimes I want to make certain content and sometimes I don't. Okay? So and that's why I said, when I said that a while back, when I said I was tired of talking about colorism, I made that disclaimer. I was like, I might change my mind again. And I did. So it is what it is. Anana says, what's the new evidence? With Tori and Megan, they released a video. Y'all can correct me or, put it in the chat. But somebody who was there, I don't know if it was a neighbor or what, it was some type of audio of the shooting. And they heard Tori saying, dance, dance, bitch, after he shot her. So if they don't believe it at this point, girl, they just don't want to believe it. So it's like that's the one thing that really makes me infuriated with black people, and that why I'm just tired. Like that's why I burned the cape for the community, because that shit is disgusting to me. Dark Skin Beach says, I like that screen name. I like that. The black community has been so disappointing since and Diddy and Tory, and that Congresswoman and Amber Rose jumped saying free Tory. Yeah, ew, gross. Think Noodle says, not sure if you're tuned into the WNBA. Thoughts on Caitlin Clark and white media hyping her up to spite black players and trying to create racial drama? No, I haven't heard about that. I'll look into it. Wasn't that already a thing? Isn't that lady who was doing that some type of hand gesture, and they were talking about how what's her name, Angel Reese, did the same hand gesture, and they were calling her like an angry black woman. Is that what you're talking about? So what, they're back at it trying to pit her against other black players again? Child, a mess. So, it sounds like to me this is another case of white jealousy. That's what it sounds like to me. Jealous of the black athletes. Not I have Caitlin Clark fatigue. Jewel says a lot of black men are defending Caitlyn and being disrespectful to him. Well, we know how that goes. This is why I said you burn the cake, black women. Because, of course, you're going to have black men on the side of the white woman. That's just what black men do. Dominique says it's getting worse, Chrissy. It's like when Serena went against their favorite white players. Well, again, that's rooted in jealousy, y'all. They're jealous of black people's athletic ability. That's something that a lot of white people are very jealous of. So, yeah, of course they're going to bully the black athletes. Angel Reese is getting bullied. A black man defended her. Oh, okay. What black man defended her, while another black man dragged up for this milk. He said, what? I don't know what that means. I don't know what I can't picture what Caitlin Clark looks like. Melanated girlie says a one black man defended her. That's another thing y'all do. Y'all take the one black man and be like, see? I'm not saying that's what she did, what you did, but I'm just saying, like, I have noticed that black women will do that. They'll be like, and see? This one black man defended a black woman. See? You be like, okay, girl, one black man. Woo, yay. What, like I have noticed that. I have noticed that black women will do that. Jessalyn says they love their token black men. They sure do, girl. They sure do. Yeah, I know. Melanated Girlie says only one black man seemed to defend Angel Reese, and I still don't trust him. Black men be pandering. Yeah. And I think some of it, from what I remember, um, Angel, she looks better than Caitlyn, right? So I think that's another issue they have too. You know what I mean? Angel's prettier than Kate. They don't like that either. So I feel like it's a lot going on with that situation. But I'll look into it. I don't know if I'll do commentary on it, but I'll look into it. Fine Afro woman says, Chrissy, please talk about how black men are jumping on the resting trend. They were just saying that they want nothing to do with black women. Make it make sense. Girl, I haven't seen that, but I'm not surprised. I mean, the niggas been resting. Girl, when have they not rested? Okay. I am not surprised at that at all. Also, Caitlin Clark is a better player. We don't care. Free to be says we don't care that Caitlin Clark is better. It's about the racial tension they're creating. Yeah, and I mean, even if there are better white athletes than black people. Like, they still have an issue with the black athletes being so talented in general. Even if Angel might not be as good as Caitlyn. I'm not into the basketball. I don't know who's better or not, but I'm just saying. Like, it's still some jealousy there. And if they have that one white player that may be better, they want to like really hype her up. You know what I mean? Because it's like they're of the resentment they have for the players who are better. You get what I'm saying? If that makes sense. So I feel like it's an animosity there when it comes to that. But okay, my question is, did something trigger this, like, or was it just racism? Like they just want Caitlyn to like come after the black players? Like I'm confused. Like, what happened for them to do the for the to like spark up this drama again? Selena says broke and resting. Exactly. Baby Lexi says Chrissy between Tori, Diddy, and DDG. Lots of black men have been showing how much they don't give a fuck about black women. Yeah, I mean, that's why you need to just. I keep telling y'all, like, take the information and move accordingly. Think Noodles, no, I'm not on Twitter or TikTok anymore. Mm-mm. Chanel says they were mad when she didn't play into their racism. Oh, okay. Okay. I get it. IP Freely says, did you hear about the white woman who got off for unaliving her black children's father? No. I didn't hear about that either. JT, yeah, definitely start a YouTube channel. Definitely start one. They're mad because Angel is getting modeling contracts. Yeah, I'm glad that everybody is showing their true colors. Like I said, we need to know who our racists are. We need to know who our misogynists are, our colorists are. Because if you ask me, any of these men who are defending Tory, Diddy, DDG, who else is abusive? I can't even. It's been so many stories that have come out. If you ask me, they're abusers too. They're abusive, or they have the potential to become abusive. Cause that's the only reason you would be defending an abuser. That's the only reason you would be doing that. So if you have any males in your life, any black males or males in general who are defending men like Diddy and DDG, who Chris Brown, Tory Lanez, if they're defending any of those men, you need to stay far the fuck away from them. I'm sorry. Cause it ain't no way. I'm not around any men who would defend men like that. And I have a Hotep brother, and even he was like, yeah, Diddy's a fucking weirdo. He's a weirdo. And he needs to go to jail. So if you got any men in your life that are defending those motherfuckers, you need to stay away from them. I wouldn't trust any man like that. Yep, Tiffany says that's how you vet them. Watch who they defend. Exactly. Yeah, Chris Brown too. What do you mean? What are you saying? Fine Afro womanhood. What are you talking about? Chris Brown is an abuser too. Him too. Cause he was abusing what's her name? The coochie girl. Kikuchi. What is that girl's name? Oh, I forget her name. But he was abusing her too. He didn't just abuse Rihanna. So yes, Chris Brown too. I don't know what it is with a lot of black women and Chris Brown. My God. Karuchi, yes, Karuchi. Y'all be caping for Chris Brown a little too hard for me. I don't know. That's weird too. We ain't never seen Chris Brown with a black woman or for a black woman. We've never seen that. He's abused all the women that he's been with, as far as we know. So yeah, Chris Brown too. JT says dark skinned women love Fist Brown, not Fist Brown. Oh my God. Yeah, I don't get it. Baby Lexi says, "What hold does colorist Brown have on some of y'all?" I don't get it. And didn't he that lady come out and say that he don't be letting dark skinned women in his section at the club? Oh, I guess because he did that video with Normani after that to pander and to do damage control. Y'all believed him, so y'all forgave him. That's what happened. Pathetic. Pathetic. Like I don't get it. It's just like with sinners. Y'all know Michael B. Jordan don't fuck with y'all like that. He don't date black women. You've never seen him with a black woman, especially a fat black woman. And y'all ate that sinner sex scene up and got mad at me for saying that Michael B. Jordan is pandering to you. I just I don't know. I guess black women, I mean, this is what y'all want, I guess. I don't know. It's just a sad situation. Charge my phone. But y'all are basically, saying to these men that you don't care if they pander to you. That's what it is. Jacarla says the captain of the pandering squad. Mm-hmm. Yep. Carpathian Pixie says, plus he had to hunch her from behind, not even face to face. Yep. Dark Skin Beach says, Bossy, DJ Envy, Joe Budden, T.I., and it's because Chris Brown is light skinned. Yeah, but then y'all always say, I like my man dark. I like my man like a cup of coffee, dark and hot. And I'm like, so, I don't know. But maybe because Chris Brown is kind of hood a little bit, or he try to act hood. Maybe that's why y'all like him. All the tattoos. I don't know. Yes, and thank you, Dark Skin Beach, for supporting. Yeah, y'all love dark skinned men, so I don't think it's because he light skinned. I don't think that's why. I think because, he's a singer and he's a celebrity. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know, but I feel like Chris Brown does have a specific special hold on black women, though. I do think that it's weird, and Michael B. Jordan too. He's another one. And I just want to say something too. Um, because I keep seeing like black women, other content creators, like still trying to shade me for doing that Sinners review. And they're like, oh, well, why did you support Michael B. Jordan? And why did you see the movie? And I'm like, I actually watched the movie on bootleg. Like, I don't know why I had to spell that out, but I did watch the movie on bootleg. I did not go to the theater to see the movie. And I did the review to make more black women aware of the pandering because it was so many black women falling for it. I used the Sinners review as a teaching moment because it was just so many black women, especially on TikTok, falling out over that movie. So yeah, I had to do the review. Like that, it was just mandatory for me, in my opinion, because it was just too much black male worship behind that movie. Like I had to say something. And so like, and I'll probably talk about this in another video, but I noticed that black women don't seem to know the difference between putting out a certain thing to balance out the narrative or to put out a new narrative versus just adding to the noise. You get what I'm saying? Like I don't think we understand that. Like if I see black women swooning and creaming in their panties over a sex scene in a movie that was designed to pander to them. And I see that that is like the main narrative on social media. I'm going to put out a new narrative. And in order for me to put out the new narrative, then I have to do a review. You get what I'm saying? I have to talk about what the other women are talking about. So that's the difference between me doing a review and just another other person, doing a random review that actually liked the movie. But, I know a lot of these women, especially the content creators, they know that. They know why I'm doing the video and why I'm trying to put out a different narrative. They just wanted to minimize my video down to, complaining about black men. And they want to discredit it because of what I talked about earlier. They want to be the only ones on YouTube giving that kind of advice that I gave in my review. That's the real problem. But of course, they aren't going to be honest about that and just say that that's what they're mad at. They're just going to throw shade instead. And mind you, these are women who talk about black men day in and day out. And they use random Blackistan stories as teaching lessons and cautionary tales. All while claiming to be divested. But then when another content creator does it, we're quote unquote mammies and we're giving black men too much attention. And so, if you want to be a YouTuber, ladies, understand that that's how YouTubers compete. Okay? They'll tell you not to do something so they can be the only one who does it. They'll say, "Oh, well, why do you talk about celebrities? That's stupid." And then they'll do a live stream about celebrities. So it's a tactic to compete with other YouTubers, and they won't admit that, but it's true. And then when random, everyday women try to come at you and be like, "Well, why are you talking about this? Why are you supporting?" I feel like they don't want other black women to get the game. You get what I'm saying? It's like, you don't want me to help other black women snap out of the fantasy because maybe you were in that fantasy too, if that makes sense. Like, you saw the movie Sinners, and that sex scene between Michael B. Jordan and Wound Me had you all hot and bothered too. And so me coming out with my narrative and my review and my video, it kind of breaks that fantasy. So then you're mad at my video because not only is it breaking your fantasy, it's going to break the fantasy that other black women have too. So yeah, I noticed that black women do try to do that, and they try to make it seem like it's about one thing when it's really about another. Very, very weird behavior. The Divine One, oh, thank you for your donation. She says, "Thank you, Chrissie, for that Sinners review." No problem. No problem. Thank you so much for your support. Chanel says they want Michael B. Jordan to do them. You're ruining the moment, Chrissie. Apparently I am. Well, look, you should know by now that when you come to this channel, your bubble is probably going to get bursted, okay? I'm going to rain on your parade at some point. So, if you don't want that, you might not want to tune in. I don't know what to tell you. Miss Mixx says Michael B. Jordan is not cute. Sorry. You know what? Me and my mom were talking about this, and I like I said, I watched it bootleg. I put it on her junk drive so she could watch it bootleg, and she didn't like the movie either. She didn't like it because I think my mom, when she watches horror movies and vampire movies, she wanted a real heavy hitting horror movie, and it wasn't that for her, so she didn't like it. She didn't like it at all. But we were talking about Michael B. Jordan, and I told her I think he's sexy ugly, if that makes sense. I don't think he's that cute, but he has a nice body. So it's like sexy ugly. That's the best way to describe him to me. Sorry. Okay, well, what do y'all want to talk about? Change the subject, Dominique. Oh my God. Island says MBJ is a butt his face. Yeah, that's a good example. That's a good term. You know how they say butterface for women? Everything is cute butterface. So yeah, everything is cute but his face. It's like his face isn't given the right symmetry. It's not his features, it's his the way they come together on his face. Oh, anyway. Momo says, "Can we talk about the nose jobs?" I missed that. What nose jobs? What's going on with that? Chanel says, "Same with Jonathan Majors." Yeah, I agree. Yeah. I still haven't watched Forever. Okay, I need to go ahead and watch it because y'all keep wanting me to give my opinion. So I'll watch it, and if I feel compelled to talk about it, I will. Glorilla got a nose job? What? I didn't know that. The Whoville noses? What? I don't know that. What is the Who? What's Whoville noses? Amara, my email is askchrissy@gmail.com. Yeah, if y'all want to send me stories, y'all, that's where y'all gotta send it. That's where everybody sends me video requests. Yeah, I didn't know she got a nose job. Chrissy, what is your opinion on black women getting lip fillers despite already having them and nose jobs, which I get because of the beauty standards? Um, some black women don't have big lips. And I'm okay with plastic surgery as long as it's not going too far. That's my whole thing. Like, I'm not against plastic surgery because, again, like, if your features aren't symmetrical and you want to change that, you want to make yourself more attractive, I think that's okay. But, as far as the rhinoplasties, I don't see many ethnic rhinoplasties like with black women. I don't see them looking good. Because Kyra says her nose looks pinched. And that's the thing, like, usually when they do rhinoplasties on black women, they pinch the nostrils. And to me, they shouldn't do it like that because I think I get that maybe that's what black people don't like about their noses, but like for me, it's like, is there a way to make the nose smaller but the same shape? Like, why don't they do it like that instead? Or is it not possible to do? I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, like keep the nostrils round and just make the nose smaller if you don't feel like it fits the face. You get what I'm saying? Like, why do you gotta pinch the nostrils? You know who I feel like has a decent nose job? Patti LaBelle. If you look at her before nose and her nose job to me was done decent. Because it still looks like a black nose. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not against nose jobs if the nose still looks like your nose, but just the size you want it to be. I don't know if that makes sense. Yeah, Dee Dee says it takes a very skilled surgeon. Yeah. Dr. Gavami. Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Because I can understand, like, if your face is just, like, not symmetrical at all and the features don't go together well, because you can have, like, because for me, I have full features, but my face is symmetrical. I have a bigger nose, bigger lips, big eyes, but they go together in a way where I'm attractive. You get what I'm saying? If I didn't feel that way about my face, maybe I would want to change it, right? So I can't get mad at people who have unsymmetrical faces and they don't like their face wanting to get work done. You get what I'm saying? I can't get mad at people for wanting that. But if you're going to do it, I mean, I'm just saying, like, make it look good. Like, like you don't want to look worse than you did before. BB's podcast says this thumbnail is exactly what I feel you look like. Yeah, I look similar to the thumbnail. I get similar. I look similar. But yeah, and you can have you can have Afrocentric features and be attractive. Like, cause to me, like when people say certain black people are ugly or whatever, I don't even think it's because of their black features. It's the way their features are on their face. It's the symmetrical. You know what I mean? Like if it's not symmetrical, it's not gonna look good. It doesn't matter what kind of features you have. So and it's not just, I'm telling you, it's not just black women, because some of them white girls, they be going overboard with those lip fillers. That should be looking terrible. And it's like, you don't know that doesn't look good? Like, just get a little bit of filler in there and plump the lips up a little bit. You don't have to get these big ass balloon lip. Like, that shit looks so ugly. Like, I don't get it. But some people have feature blindness and they think that shit looks good when it doesn't. I just feel bad for those people. I'm glad I never wanted to do anything to my face. I'm happy with my face. And I'm very, very happy that I have a symmetrical face and I don't want to change it. Because, girl, that shit sounds stressful. Mm-mm. Yeah, Marie says it's fine to get a nose job, but go to a doctor that specializes in ethnic rhinoplasty. Yeah, but who are they, girl? Because, like I said, you don't see a lot of ethnic rhinoplasties that look good. Cause girl, what's her name? From the Real Housewives, she got that her nose job, and they pinched it. Her nose looks terrible. She looked better before. I forget her name, but y'all know who I'm talking about. Selena, that's a good example. Tim's is gorgeous with her face. Tim's, that's a perfect example. Beautiful black features, and they're symmetrical. Like, she's a beautiful woman. She don't need to change nothing on her face. Yeah, Nene Leaks. You know who else I thought was like that before she changed her face? Two people. SZA and Summer Walker. Two beautiful black women. Nothing was wrong with their face whatsoever. Symmetrical face, black features, and they changed their face. Crazy. Now, I will say SZA's nose job, I think her first one, because I think she done had a couple few of them, but her first one, it looked kind of okay. And then she went too far. And it's like, dang, SZA, you should have stopped at the first one. You should have just stopped. Same thing with Summer. Like, just stop. Just do a little bit and stop where it's not noticeable. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, Tika's another one. Tika got a nose job? I didn't know that. She don't look like she got a nose job to me. Yeah, Nene Leaks, that's the one with the pinched nose. Her shit is pinched. That shit looks terrible. Terrible. Yeah, man. Summer and SZA looked so pretty before. Like, I don't get it. I don't get it with them. With them, I don't get it at all. But that's the Eurocentric beauty standards, boy. They I guess they just wanted to look more Eurocentric. I don't know. But those are two women who I just thought were absolutely beautiful before. Like, I will never understand. I will never understand that. Yeah, I don't think Megan Oh, you said Meghan Markle. I was thinking of Megan the Stallion. Meghan Markle? Yeah, I don't. She don't look like she got work done to me. I could be wrong though. I could be wrong. Rihanna, Halle Berry, and Bailey and Kelly Rowland have the best nose jobs I've ever seen. I didn't know any of those women had nose jobs. I'm gonna keep it real with you. If they had nose jobs, I didn't know. Yeah, SZA's nose job is not the worst, but again, I feel like the first one. It seems like the first one was better, and then she kind of went too far. Yeah, I didn't know Beyonce had a nose job either. Had no idea. If that's true, I didn't know. Well, I'm saying if those women had a nose job, you can't tell, so that's good. That's all I'm saying. Yeah, I hadn't heard anything about Halle Bailey either, to be honest. Zendaya? What? Are y'all just naming people? I didn't know if Zendaya has one. Hers undetectable. All I'm saying is, look, get some. If you gonna get plastic surgery, it should be undetectable. It should be in a way that enhances you, but it still looks like you, and it doesn't look natural. Like nobody should be able to look at your face, or I mean, it looks natural, but nobody should be able to look at your face and be like, "Oh, she had work done." In my opinion, like I wouldn't want anybody to look at me and be like, "Oh, you had work done." If I had work done, like I would want it to be undetectable. Anyway, next topic. What else y'all want to talk about? Which Megan? Megan Markle or Megan the Stallion? Which one? Oh, you know what? I didn't look at the Met Gala looks. I didn't even look at that, y'all. I didn't. I think I saw one. I think I saw Tiana Taylor. Who else? Girl, I don't forgot. But I thought Tiana Taylor. I thought her outfit was good, but I hadn't seen anybody else for real. I just wasn't interested like that. I'll be honest. I wasn't really interested in the theme, the whole dandy theme. I wasn't interested. Jetu says thoughts on the gym attire. I don't know what gym attire. What are you talking about? Fill me in. Let me know. Jay Carla, are you talking about the Times Square statue, girl? I done did two videos on that. I know you ain't talking about that statue. Wait, who was twerking in Lululemon? Who was twerking in Lululemon? They made a video twerking in. Okay, somebody send me the Lululemon twerking video at askchrissie at gmail.com. Yeah, and I was gonna say that, Chanel, isn't Lululemon racist? Like, didn't y'all make a whole thing about that? And now y'all in there twerking in the establishment. I just don't know about y'all sometimes. I don't know about black women sometimes. Oops. Hold on. I was never a Lululemon girly. anyway. So, oh yeah, I did see where Lizzo was standing in front of the statue. Yeah, and and like I told somebody in my comments, and like, I was talking about this with one of my mods too, and we both agreed that Lizzo is going to be smaller than that statue pretty soon, and she'll probably get plastic surgery after she loses the weight to get rid of the loose skin. Okay, so what Lizzo is doing, what she always has done, which is performative activism. Okay, that's what she's doing. Performative fat activism. You can't take her seriously. Okay. Right. That's what I was thinking too. Chanel says Lizzo losing weight but still pandering. Exactly. Exactly. Oh yeah, she looks great with her weight loss. She looks amazing. But yeah, she's still pandering. That's all. Cause she's still big. She's still big. So I get it. And she kind of built like the statue a little bit. So I get it. But it is performative. Cause girl, you don't even want to look like the statue, girl. You don't even want to look like it, honey. You losing that weight. And mark my words. Mark my words. She's probably gonna get loose skin removal. She's gonna get plastic surgery and she gonna turn into one of them Instagram baddies. Just watch. Mark my words. I already predicted that she was gonna lose weight, if you remember. I said that in a video a long time ago that Lizzo would lose weight. I told y'all that. Didn't I? So let's not act like I don't be predicting shit. So I predict that after she's done losing all the weight that she wants to lose, she's probably going to get loose skin removal, or like Angel said in the chat, a BBL. She might get that. She might get a breast lift or something like that. And she gonna lose all that weight. So girl, she don't even want to look like that statue. And that's the thing, like a lot of these girls who were mad at my opinion about the statue, they feel the same way. Including Lizzo. They feel the same way. They don't want to look like that statue either, girl. These girls be lying to y'all. Yep, lipo. She gonna get something. They said she probably already had it. Well, I'm just gonna say it. She's probably gonna get more. The son says the BBL after losing the weight. Well, she might want some of that cuz I don't think Lizzo's ever going to get, even if she gets really small, she might have some loose skin or some fat in some areas that she doesn't want to have. So she's probably going to get that fat redistributed or cut off. Okay? Mark my words. Oh, my email is askchrissy@gmail.com. Askchrissy@gmail.com. I think it's in the description box. I don't know if it's in there or not, but it's not in there. It's askchrissy@gmail.com though. And my name is spelled CHRISSIE, not Y at the end, IE at the end. JBZ says, Chrissy, I'm a Pisces sun, Libra moon, and Virgo rising. I feel like my placements have me constantly conflicted. Wow. Yeah, because Pisces and Virgo, I think, are complete opposite. And Libra moon. Well, you know what? That just probably means you are multifaceted. Now, you might be sometimey, you might be all over the place, but usually people like that who have signs, different placements that are opposite like that, or very different in some way, that just usually means you're very well rounded, you know? Yeah. Lace Love says, what's your thought on femcel accusations? Girl, everything. That term is starting to be overused because, like, I feel like everything is like anything that a woman says that a man doesn't like, or even some women who use that femcel term, it's like femcel behavior. Like if we complain about men in any type of way, or a woman says she wants to take a break on dating men, or she wants to decenter men, now it's femcel talk. Meanwhile, you know, I mean, there are incels all over YouTube. And like I said, I don't think femcel even exists. Like, what woman can't get laid? What woman can't get a man to fuck her? Like, that's what that means. It means involuntary celibacy. That's what incel means, or femcel means. What woman do you know that is involuntarily celibate? It doesn't exist. Girl, how hard is it to get dick? Please. And you know, there are women on YouTube who don't like me and they call me a femcel, and they say that, oh well, dark skinned women who want privilege or attention for their looks, that's femcel behavior. But they also want privilege, want to keep their privilege, or want attention for their looks. And they do videos on how to benefit from privilege. And you know what's interesting too? Some of those content creators, they use terms that came from incels. They use the term like looks maxing, for example. That's an incel term. That came from incels. That came from the incels that came online and were trying to teach their incel following, their male incel following, how to improve their appearance to get women and to get more attention from women and to get less rejection from women. So it's so interesting how some of the same women, you know, calling women like me a femcel, they're using incel terms. Yeah, that's where that's where looks maxing came from. It came from incels. Yep. It sure did. Yeah, and I heard one girl throwing shade at me in a video, and she was like, "Yeah, um and Chrissie, they don't talk about looks maxing, and they don't give solutions, girl." And let's just be real about that too. A lot of y'all girls are regurgitating my old femininity content. Let's clock that T. A lot of y'all are regurgitating my old femininity content, and you're giving it new names. Like looks maxing and shit. And talking about social climbing and using your pretty privilege and all that. A lot of that is old femininity content that the girls were already discussing in 2018. 2017 is when I was doing that content. So girl, like, you're not saying anything new, baby. It's not new information. It's old stuff. You're not saying anything new or groundbreaking. You're not reinventing the wheel because you named femininity content or level up content something different. That content is old to some of us now because we were making it 6 and 7 years ago. You just came on the scene and now you're calling it somebody else or something else. And that's why some black women are leaving the femininity conversation because it's old. It's old and you're late, okay? And there's only so much you can say about the same topic. Like, even though I still do, you know, femininity content that I put on my website, it's still different. It's not the same as it was back then. It's more about archetypes and stuff. So it's like, but y'all, doing all this level up, looks maxing stuff, that's regurgitated old femininity content. And you're pretending like it's new. It's not new. It's not. Kyra says the girl's been reheating your nachos, Chrissy. Yes, and they're soggy. They are. They're soggy, reheated nachos. And be trying to shade me like, yeah, and this is new, and this they don't do this over here. This is new. It's not, girl. We've been doing that. We've been teaching the girls how to quote unquote look smacks over here and play up their femininity and all that. And you're just calling it something different. And that's okay, but like don't use that to shade me as if I've never done it on my platform. Girl, bye. That shit is hilarious. Oh, but that's like me coming on here, I don't know, like here's the thing, nothing is new anymore. Like even when I came on here, the colorism conversation wasn't new. It was an old conversation. I repackaged some of the stuff that I heard and I made it my own content. And I'm not saying I wasn't original at all. I did have, original talking points, but the topic wasn't new. And I feel like some of these girls, they come on here with old ass topics, and because they've repackaged them, they're making it seem like they're new when they're not, you know? And Chrissie doesn't teach the dark-skinned women how to overcome colorism. I had a whole playlist called Overcoming Colorism. And this whole channel is about strategizing around colorism. And honestly, that's why some of the girls are mad, They're mad because I'm teaching y'all how to play the game like they play it. That's really what it's all about. So they have to discredit me and lie about my platform and act like, they're doing something so brand new to, win, I guess. But you're not going to win because even your regurgitated femininity content that you stole from me and other Black woman content creators is still not getting the views that we got. Still. Again, because it's old. It's old content. Y'all remember how my femininity videos were doing back in 2017, 2018? Girl, 200,000 views. That always looked pretty video. How many? That was like, I don't remember, but it was hundreds of thousands of views. Hundreds of thousands of views. So, girl, ain't none about that new. And anybody who been here knows that. Dominique says you're supposed to put out your own point of view on things. They're also mad that they don't have your energy. Yeah, that's very true. That's very true. Because you can repeat me. You can repackage my information. You can name it something else, but you'll never have the sauce. You'll never have that. So that's very true. Very, very much true. And I will say, I try not to address the new wave, the new girls, when it comes to BWE and these new colorism channels and the anti-Chrissie channels, because I believe in allowing the newcomers to do their thing. And, there's nothing worse than a has-been hating on the new girls. So I try not to do that. But it's like I feel like I'm being forced to address them now because they won't leave me alone. You know what I'm saying? Like they're literally obsessed with me. And they stalk me to try to get me to respond to them. So I don't know. I guess they want me to grow their channels, I guess. And then the other half wants me to stop talking because they think it's going to make them shine brighter or something. But that's not how it works. It's like when you're that girl, you're going to shine regardless. And being new in general will make people listen because people like freshness, right? So it's smarter to capitalize off of being new and not try to beef with the quote unquote has-beens, right? You don't want to ruin your channel with beefing. When I was a new girl on the block, I did engage with beef here and there. I'm not going to pretend like I didn't. I did, I still do clap back every now and then, right? But I made sure not to make that my entire channel. You know, I didn't hyper focus on other YouTubers like that. I just did my content, and my originality and my consistency is what grew my channel. So constantly beefing and trying to sabotage women who came before you to get a leg up on YouTube, it won't work. Especially if they still have relevancy, right? Because I'm not really, I'm a has been, but I'm not. You know what I mean? I'm still relevant. I ain't all the way fell off yet. So, you're not going to get rid of people. Just focus on your content and be great. That's how you get noticed. That's how you get far on YouTube. You feel me? So that's a word of advice for the girls who want to start YouTube and be a YouTuber. Worst thing you can do is build your channel off of beefing with everybody. That ain't gonna work. Selena, what's my Aries placement? What do you mean? Yeah, beefing is exhausting. It is. It's very exhausting. Sun says your content has evolved. They're 7 years behind. They are. And the thing is, like, and that's another thing. That's another reason why, I don't talk about colorism as much as I used to, because, like, eventually you kind of move on from that. You talk about it in a more evolved way. But it's like that's another reason they're mad, is because I'm not, like, I guess, talking about colorism as much as I used to, or in the same ways that I used to. Well, why would I if it's been 10 years? You know what I'm saying? Oh, she said when you said you used to argue with them sometimes, it's that fire. Oh, girl, yeah. I'm still like that. I still be clapping back, and, you know, I have a lot of fire energy in my chart. I'm a fiery Cancer. So, you know what I'm saying? I have a what's called a fire trine in my chart, and you can look it up if you want to do the research on it, but I'm a very fiery person. Um so I still do clap back, but I still am very level-headed and intellectual too. So, I'm not going to let that take over my channel, you know. Never that. So, it is what it is. It is what it is. Skittles and Jelly Bean says you're not talking about colorism no longer gives them content to rebuttal. Yeah, that's another thing. They want to use my content and feed off my content and use it for their own content. So, when they can't do that, it's a problem. Sun says cancers do not forget and they hold a grudge forever. Um, I can hold grudges for a while. I'm not gonna lie. I can. But I think I get over things a little bit quicker than most cancers because of my other placements, that heavy Gemini in my chart. I don't hold on to things as longer as some cancers would, but I will say I don't forget. I do not forget. Okay, I'm checking my email. Let's see. Oh, this is the twerking video. Oh my God, y'all. What is wrong? See, and then they showed the white people. Oh my God. What is this ghetto shit? Does anybody know where this was at? And see, this is the black fatigue. This is what the black fatigue people use to talk shit about black people. Y'all just be giving them content. JBC has one of your clapbacks made me pull over to get myself together. I had tears. I was laughing for 10 minutes straight. Yeah, girl, and you know I'm ghetto too. So that's another reason why, sometimes I be having to that ghetto girl be coming out of me sometimes and I be having to clap back. I'm bougetto, I'm bougie, but I'm ghetto too. So girl, sometimes I gotta get ghetto on these hoes. You feel me? uh I wasn't gonna show it. I don't wanna show this shit. Y'all just look up black twerking and Lululemon. Fine Afro Womanhood says they hate that you are rising beyond colorism. Yep. They hate that I don't talk about it in the same way and to where I care about black men's preferences like that. They hate that I'm talking about colorism in a way that's telling dark skinned women to get away from colorists. So that matters. Like, that's why they fuck with me the hardest. Cause I'm telling them, hey, get away from colorists. Stop letting these people use you. Center your own beauty and your own phenotype as a dark skinned black woman. And strategize and do all the things that people are doing to you. That creates a problem for them because they want to stay high on the hierarchy. They don't want to be challenged, right? They still want dark skinned women to look down on. And so when I'm telling dark skinned women, hey, don't willingly put yourself in that position, well, then that fucks everything up for them because they wanted that hierarchy to still exist. So I can understand why they're mad at me. I can understand why the response is so vitriol or vitriolic. You know, I get it. I totally get it. There, it's a survival instinct. You know what I mean? That's really what it is. It's a very primal reaction. It's very primal and it's based on their survival. So when you think of it that way, you can understand why people get so angry about it. Blackpink says they need black women to be reactive and emotional. And they definitely don't like when you can, respond to these things and talk about these things with logic and be calm and cool and collected and, more logical than emotional. Oh, they hate that. And, I'm INTJ, so it's going to be logic before emotion all day. So that's another thing they don't like about me. So, yeah, I mean, I completely understand the obsession. I understand, the strong desire that they have, for me to go away. But it's not going to happen because one thing I do, I use the anger and the pushback as fuel. The more people talk about me, the more people outrage over me, the more people obsess over me, the more I'm going to keep talking. Because that's that petty part of me too. I'm just going to keep talking to make you mad. I'm just going to keep being here and showing up just to piss you off. Not only because I want to, because that's the first reason, because I want to. But I'm also going to keep coming back just to make you mad. Because of that villain in me, that INTJ in me that wants to piss people off. I'm going to keep coming back. So I guess I should be thanking them. What is Wednesday? I used that quote from Wednesday, the Netflix show. And the quote was I act like, what did she say? I act like what people say about me doesn't bother me, but secretly I enjoy it. That is me all the way. All the way. The quote was something like that. Something like that. Yeah. So that's me. Like, I get even though it's an annoyance sometimes, the way people talk shit and come after me, I secretly do enjoy it. Like, I kind of like it a little bit. I'm not going to lie. I kind of like it. Chanel says, man, I swear you are Regina George. That is so funny. She's not beating the Regina allegations. Listen, and for those of you who want to start YouTube, I'm telling you, you got to be built for it. You got to be built for it. You can't just let people bully you off. You can't just let people talking about you run you off of here. You can't do that. Chanel says that sounds crazy, but I get it. It's fun making people crash out. Yeah. Especially when I'm like all calm and then people make videos like raging. You be like, oh, why are you so mad? Oh my God. That shit is so funny. This shit is hilarious. But yeah, I'm always going to defend myself. I'm always going to come back. And I'm only going to leave on my terms. I'll never leave because somebody bullies me off. Forest Girl Asha says, did you see the promo? New 1,000-pound sisters and they're black. No, I haven't seen that. Wow. Y'all be seeing all you listen, send me stuff. When you see stuff, send it to askchrissie@gmail.com. Now I may not do a video on everything, but because I'm nosy, I want to see stuff. So yeah, I do want to see it. JT says, I honestly probably won't respond. Yeah, you know what? If you don't want to respond, that's even better. Like if you just pay people dust and don't respond to anybody, that's good too. Just don't ever let people run you off. Never allow people to bully you. And I think the reason why I respond sometimes is because I see people trying to sabotage my platform and like do these smear campaigns. And so when it comes to stuff like that, I'll probably respond. But then I'll move on. That's one thing I do. I'll respond to something and then I move the fuck on. I'll put it out there and let it sit and move on. The sun says, I drag them by the edges. Oh, that's funny. Amber says, exactly. I'm going to leave on my own terms, not because you want me to or bully me. It will be at my leisure, hun. Yep, exactly. Uh-huh. And I will say it's some things that I think of and I'll be like, dang, I probably shouldn't have responded to that. I probably I probably should have just ignored that. But then when I look back on the things that I responded to, for the most part, I'm glad I responded. Yeah. Cuz usually it's very strategic in the way I respond. And without giving too much away, I'm gonna just say, like, whenever I respond to somebody and whenever I have in the past, it's always done what it was supposed to do. That's all I'm gonna say. It's always done what it was supposed to do. It's always put out the narrative that I want to be out there. Yep. And that's all I'm gonna say. That's what I'm gonna say. But I want y'all to let me know. I know I have to watch Forever. So I'm going to watch that. Let me know what other shows on Netflix or other movies you want me to watch. And also let me know what new music you want me to listen to as well. I want to be in the loop. I want to listen to all new things and see some new things. I think that Wednesday, that show is coming. That's my show. That's one of my favorite shows on Netflix. Even in that, I don't like the way they portrayed the black woman, the mermaid or the siren. I called her a mermaid, but same thing. But the siren in the show, I don't even like the way they portrayed her. But I still like that show. I like it because of Wednesday. I like her personality. Wednesday is so savage. I love that shit. She is so cold blooded. But yeah, I don't like the way they had the siren running after that little white boy, and then the white boy really like Wednesday. I didn't like that. I didn't like it at all. Wednesday, the show. It's Wednesday from the Addams Family, but it's a show on Netflix, and she's coming back. The series is coming back in August. So yeah. Chantel Wednesday. Yeah, it's a whole season. Season one is on Netflix. Yes, Chanel Miller says, "Are we surprised?" Yeah, exactly. I just feel like, and again, if they would just leave black women out, I would rather have that than have them portray us poorly like that. Like, just make the siren white. Like, what's the point? But overall, I still like the show. Katrina says, "I can't believe season 2 took this long to come back." Right? Yeah. Yep. But I am gonna watch forever though. So. Oh yeah, but anyway, y'all, it's been 2 hours and 15 minutes, so I am gonna go. This was fun. I am not gonna let another month pass without going live again. Okay. But yeah, we got to do more Chrissy After Darks and just chill and talk shit and just do something laid back. I'm going out of town in a couple days, so I don't know when I'll have the next video up, but I don't know. And then I don't know. I have a video I want to put on the site before I don't know. Some new content is going to come soon. I don't know if it's going to be public or on the website. I don't know yet, but we'll see. But yeah, so have a good holiday. You guys be safe this weekend. Now, if you go into the cookout, make sure you don't go to the cookout in the hood tomorrow, okay? Stay away from the ghettos. Stay out the hood, okay? Or maybe have somebody bring you a plate or something. I don't know. But happy holidays. And yeah, I'll talk to you guys later. Like, share, and subscribe. Love you. Bye.